Hey guys, it's Rob. Let me tell you about the online cannabis company that's revolutionizing how we deal with life's challenges, whether it be sleepless nights or stress-filled days. Mood.com. They've created an entire line of functional gummies that target specific health concerns, and it's 100% federally legal THC blends, so they'll deliver them discreetly right to your doorstep. I don't think I could be making this ad if this wasn't all above board. And don't forget to remind me to tell you can get 20% off your order at mood.com if you stay tuned. So if you know me, you know I'm always looking for the right gummy for the right situation, because there's a lot of different things out there and you need to know what you're getting. I've tried a bunch of their gummies myself, and it's wild how different each one feels. The Sleepy Time gummies knock me out in like 15 minutes flat, and no hangers, no grogginess like you get from some of those other sort of sleep enhancers. I wake up feeling amazing. Like you should. And their Epic Euphoria gummies, they're perfect for the days when, nothing's going right and you just need to hit the reset button on your crap mood. What makes these different is how they've paired THC and other cannabinoids with herbs and adaptogens. So you're not just going to find gummies like this in a dispensary, or anywhere for that matter. Only at mood.com. And they have gummies for literally everything: immune support, menopause relief, PMS symptoms, mental clarity, sexual arousal. So Rich is going to love that one. Each one is crafted using federally legal cannabis grown on small, family-owned American farms. No pesticides, no BS, and they can ship to most states in the U.S. Best of all, not only does Mood stand behind everything with an industry-leading 100-day satisfaction guaranteed. Oh, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, you can get 20% off your first order at Mood.com with promo code THEN AND NOW. So head to Mood.com, browse their amazing collection, and see what's best for you. What's the perfect gummy for whatever you're dealing with? And remember to use the promo code THEN AND NOW at checkout to save 20% on your first order.
We all love a legendary comeback, and Degree Original Cool Rush is back and better than ever. Cool Rush isn't just a scent, it's a movement, a fan favorite that delivers bold, fresh vibes and all-day sweat protection. Whether you have a man that spends hours in the gym, heads into the office early, or is just trying to stay fresh on a long day, Cool Rush has their back. Head to your local Walmart or Target and grab Degree Cool Rush, the fan favorite scent from the world's #1 antiperspirant brand.
In 2005, two brothers hit the road in search of their father and wound up fighting demons, angels, monsters, and fate itself.
Over the next 15 years, Supernatural became more than just a TV show. It became a family with one of the most passionate fan bases in the world.
I'm Rob Benedict. I played Chuck Shirley. You might also know me as God.
And I'm Richard Speight Jr. I played Loki, the Trickster, and Gabriel. And I also directed more than a few episodes.
Now, we spent years making this show, but we never actually sat down to watch every single episode in order until now.
And that means that each week we're watching Supernatural from the beginning, now diving into Season 8, the year of purgatory, prophets, and the pursuit to close the gates of hell. And we'll be joined by cast, writers, directors, and the crew who help bring each episode to life.
You'll hear behind-the-scenes stories, our honest reactions, and maybe learn a little about how television gets made along the way.
Now, I'm warning you, there are going to be spoilers. And remember, this is our first time truly watching the series, so if we miss a detail or don't remember what happens 3 seasons from now, well, that's part of the fun.
So join us as we keep the engine running, hit the open road, and fall even deeper in love with Supernatural. Hey everybody, it's Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Speight Jr.
And we are talking about Season 8, Episode 4, Bitten.
Yeah, we are. We're talking about Bitten, baby.
We're doing it.
You know what they say about when you once bitten? Twice shy.
Twice shy.
Yeah, exactly right.
And then too shy, hush, hush, eye to eye.
And that's a Kaja Gugu reference.
That's the truth.
For all the kids at home who immediately knew. Anybody like in the 18 to 22 range, they knew immediately that was a Kaja Gugu reference.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was trying to think. There was something this last weekend that I said to something. Oh, I mentioned to someone who's probably 30, but I was like, well, it's like Brady Bunch. And she's like, yeah, I don't know that show, but Okay. I was like, it was a man and a woman who came together and they each had kids. And
Then you point at her and say, "Get out, get away from my table. I only want Brady Bunch people here."
It's just so funny because, like, in our generation, that was a given. You knew Brady Bunch.
Duh. Everybody had a thing for Carol Brady. Everybody.
All right. Are you bitten?
Are you going to thank people for listening to the podcast? Because there's a very specific direction on this sheet.
It's just too long of a. It's too long of a thing. I don't think I can do it.
We do appreciate all of you listening and sharing the podcast with your friends. Robbie and I traveled the world over, from Nashville to Murfreesboro, and every stop along the way, we meet people who have listened to the podcast.
From Nashville to Nashville East.
No, but we meet a lot of people who listen to the podcast, love the podcast.
Yes.
And we are always thrilled to talk to anybody. And we love that you guys are out there spreading the good word. We appreciate it because, hey, this is just a way of showing more love for Supernatural. And you love Supernatural. We love Supernatural.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you listening, and we will continue to deliver great guests and great content. Just be sure your friends know, won't you? Share the love.
And here we are, episode 4, Bitten. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Summarize this son of a gun.
Sam and Dean burst into a house to find a dead body covered by a sheet and another torn to pieces. An iPod plays a song on repeat, and a nearby laptop has a sticky note saying, "Play me." They open it to find a movie compiled from amateur filmmaker Brian Wilcox's footage. The film begins in a coffee house where Brian and his friend Michael test a new camera. They notice a girl, Kate, filming them, and she and Michael quickly hit it off, mostly because they both are never without their cameras filming something,
Yes.
leaving Brian jealous. Later, a confrontation with jocks leads to Michael defending Brian. On their way home, they encounter a crime scene with a covered body, witnessing Sam and Dean introducing themselves as FBI agents.
I thought this was sort of, I don't exactly know what year this came out. I'm sure we have it in this document.
Probably 2011, 2012. It's October 2012.
It is.
Oh, it was their Halloween episode a little bit.
It's prescient, though. Is that the word? Prescient?
Prescient.
The fact that now everybody actually does have a camera all the time. Like, this is a little bit ahead of its time in that concept.
Yeah, not as much in 2012 where people walk around with those kind of cameras.
I know, but I'm saying, like, you watch it now, it doesn't seem foreign, except for the camera of it all.
Right. If it were an iPhone, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, while filming for his movie, Michael notices Sam and Dean investigating and jokes.
Which I thought was really cool, by the way, the way they sort of shot that off angle, the way we discovered the boys. And
it was really cool. It's Robbie Thompson's script. I think it's really, I see what he was going for.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. So they joke that maybe there's a workplace romance between these two guys, Sam and Dean, which, boo.
But also, who are we to judge, Robbie?
Who are we to judge? Sure.
You really gave me an eye roll with that. Sure. That was really dismissive.
Sure.
I don't know, man.
They're brothers, but okay. Sure.
They don't know that. The kids with the cameras don't know that.
Right. But yeah, totally. He later splits from Brian in the woods and hears a growl and he's attacked.
That's how I feel like I'm being right now. I feel like Robbie's attacking me. So I get it, Brian.
Yeah. You're very Brian in this whole thing. You're Brian and I'm Michael. There's no doubt you're Brian and I'm Michael. Brian finds Michael with a large bite wound. Oh, no. I'm Brian. You're Michael.
No, I'm Brian. I'm the one being attacked.
Yeah.
Who's being attacked? Michael? I'm Michael.
Which one's the tall one?
Michael.
Okay.
I'm Brian.
No, I'm Brian. I'm the little nerdy one.
Yeah, well, you're lashing out.
You're the one who's that's great with the ladies.
Guilty.
Between
but
the
the
two
point
of
is,
us, you're
lashing out.
Both, neither one of us is great.
Hey, in the land of the blind, the man with one eye is king. You know what they say?
Yeah, exactly. Brian finds Michael, or maybe Michael finds Brian, with a large bite wound, but the injury mysteriously disappears. Soon, Michael exhibits superhuman strength, smashing doors and displaying unusual abilities. Brian sets up cameras to document Michael's transformation, hoping to capture his origin story, but Michael resists further exposure. When Sam and Dean visit Brian, Kate spies on them, overhearing the brothers suggest they might be dealing with a Mayan god. Michael's powers intensify, his eyes shift, claws emerge, and he exhibits violent predatory urges. After a confrontation with the local jock, Scott, the guy that was picking on him earlier, Michael attacks him, likely killing him. And no one was upset about that because he was kind of a jerk.
No.
Brian is horrified, but Kate remains protective, arguing it could be self-defense. Brian, Kate, and Michael trail Sam and Dean to the coroner's office, learning from their surveillance that a pure-blood werewolf is in town, capable of controlling its feral instincts and surviving on animal hearts. They also discover that silver is lethal to werewolves and that Sam and Dean are not FBI agents. Meanwhile, Brian uncovers a unique lapel pin in the woods and uses it to confront Professor Ludensky,
Yes.
their English professor.
And I got to tell you some inside trivia here. Robbie Thompson named this character after our mutual friend, Randy Ludensky. Randy Ludensky and I went to USC together. We all hung out together because Robbie Thompson knew Randy Ludensky and Steve Chbosky and all those guys from USC. In fact, Steve Chbosky's one of his best friends, Randy Ludensky. And by the way, Robbie Thompson did not tell me he named this character after Randy Ludensky. I'm just assuming that name is so unique that it was either that's where he pulled the name or got the idea, because I know we're all friends. And so I think I am going out on a limb and saying that Robbie Thompson named this character after animation timing director and fellow USC alum Randy Ludensky.
That's amazing.
A man who loves chocolate chip pancakes more than he loves his wife.
That's what makes you Richard Spade. A man whose Uncle Dean founded the Hollies.
Okay, you want to know something interesting about Randy Ludensky, since we're having that conversation? His uncle was Irwin Allen, who created Lost in Space and the Poseidon Adventure.
How?
And all those things.
How do you have all this just there?
Well, we went to college together. Randy and I have known each other since we were 18 years old.
Oh, so he wasn't a professor?
No, Randy was a student with us.
Do you still see Randy?
I do.
Huh. Well, I thought you were going to say Jerry Wannick was, we did a panel with Jerry Wannick this weekend.
Yes, we did.
And he said, someone asked him about putting like personal things into the sets and how they have like your son's names on one of the sets. And
right.
He said at one point, he had a professor named either Ludensky. I thought on stage he said Lubensky. But he was like, yeah, a nice Polish name. Remember?
He did. I think that was for what they named the whiskey or something. It wasn't
that would make sense because he wouldn't.
It wasn't the professor.
He wouldn't be in charge of naming characters.
Right. Another piece of trivia: Randy Ludensky's uncle produced Evel Knievel TV specials in the house that his aunt had in Bel Air. There was still an Evel Knievel outfit hanging in the closet.
Fancy pants.
And on the rare chance that maybe somebody was overserved, it was not unlike somebody to go in and to the closet and emerge as Evel Knievel.
Good stories. More stories than you ever could imagine about.
Well, Ludensky, I was going through the desk when he died, and there were thank you notes from Robert Wagner that said, like, Natalie and I had a great time. There's a Steve McQueen thank you note, because he did Towering Inferno.
When the father died.
To Randy's uncle. Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Jesus, Natalie.
The Ludensky Files, everybody. Welcome to the Ludensky Files.
Wow. This could be a whole podcast.
It should be a whole podcast.
And yet it's not. So we'll continue on. So anyway, he confronts Professor Ludensky, the English professor, forcing him to turn into a werewolf to reveal the truth about Michael's transformation.
Right.
Ludensky admits he killed the first victim and turned Michael to serve as a scapegoat. Brian blackmails Ludensky to bite him, turning him into a werewolf. As Kate and Michael plan to flee town, Brian manipulates events to protect Kate, but this leads to violent confrontations. Brian ultimately kills Michael.
I mean, roommates fight, but this was a step up.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Brian ultimately kills Michael and attempts to control Kate, biting her. Kate, however, transforms, overpowers Brian, and kills him. She then covers Michael's body and completes Brian's movie to show Sam and Dean that she and Michael weren't inherently monsters and that she hasn't killed anyone. After watching the film, Dean suggests giving Kate a chance, agreeing she should only be stopped if she kills again. Dean returns the iPod to its dock, letting Kate and Michael's song play as they leave.
So, a couple of things. Number one, some of these questions probably can't be answered, but she did kill somebody. She killed Michael, or she killed Brian.
Yeah, she did.
And then, can werewolves be killed by being ripped up, or don't they have to be shot in the heart with the silver thing? I mean, it looked like she just ripped him apart because the blood splatter went across the lampshade and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought there was a specific way they had to kill them.
Yeah.
There's one question I don't know if we can answer. The other question, and I don't know if we can answer, does Dean only let her live because she's hot?
Yeah.
That's kind of the given, right? If that was one of the dudes, it'd be like, nah, take him out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He'd be dead. Yeah, she even got sort of her own, it ended on her walking the train tracks.
I feel like we're about to launch into a debate here. I got to be honest to the people listening to the podcast. I think we're about to get into it. Robbie and Rich, kind of Brian and Michael style. Of course, me being Brian, attacked by the aggressive Rob as Michael.
Hello.
As we sort of break down this episode of television. As always, for anyone who doesn't know how we do this podcast, we don't say a word until we're recording. So Rob and I have not talked about this. There's no pre-gaming our thoughts here.
You loved it.
I loved it.
Really?
I loved this episode.
Wow.
I thought it was phenomenal.
Wow.
And as soon as we were logging on and you're like, oh boy, I'm like, oh, I think Robbie and I are on different sides of the spectrum here. I loved it. I thought the shooting was incredibly clever. I thought the three actors were great. I thought the kid who, the editing was great, where they would jump cut and do stuff on purpose, like the cameras are glitching or whatever. I thought some of the handheld reveals, the camera placement, I just thought, and maybe it's because it came after 803, which I needed to rethink everything I feel about entertainment. But I just thought it was clever and unique, and I love the way they did the credits at the end. Like, they just did it. I've never heard anybody talk about this episode, so I haven't heard in all of our conversations.
I've never heard about this episode.
Right.
No.
So maybe that's a red flag, but nonetheless,
No.
I never have. So when it's happening, I'm not, oh, this is the one that blah, blah, blah. I have no idea what's going on.
No, I can hear the fans out there going like, I agree with you, Rich. I always like this too.
I know you didn't like it, and I totally respect that.
You don't know anything. You haven't even asked me yet.
Okay, so what are your thoughts? I've blathered on about my thoughts here.
We watched episode 3 and 4 together. And so we're kind of talking about, I was talking about 3 more than 4. And I think after 3, it did affect me to the point where I was kind of coming into it like, I loved the idea, and I thought Robbie Thompson's idea was awesome. And personally, I'm not a big fan of found footage. I know you are. I know you really liked the one in the woods.
Blair Witch.
Yeah.
It had a very Blair Witch feel.
I didn't like Blair Witch. I didn't like that movie. It's just not my kind of. It's self-conscious. It's hard to pull it off because.
Well, it certainly is dated too, right? Didn't this feel like that era?
Yeah. No. Well, yeah. Nobody, and I knew that. In 2012, not a lot of people were carrying those kind of cameras around. So it just felt too self-conscious for me, and the acting felt self-conscious. That's not to say anything about the 3 of those people as actors.
Right.
It just you can't. If a camera falls and it's just at the perfect angle where it captures someone in the perfect, and even when they're having scenes where they're fighting or whatever, and they're kind of looking down at the screen to make sure, like, people are turning into werewolves, you wouldn't give a shit about the movie anymore. So the realism of that, it pulled me out of it. I couldn't buy it because it's hard to pull that off. I just think it's really hard to pull found footage off. That being said, I love the soundtrack. I love the idea of it. I love it when they do this kind of episode where like only Sam and Dean we saw was as the third person looking in. And I was a little bit lost, a little bit about the professor, and it's hard to hit those points that they hit in every script of Supernatural when it's being told from this. So it was a bit of a leap, and I wasn't able to make the full leap.
Understood.
But I know why you liked it, and
I will tell you, in it, we're season 8, we're in, and it's just, this is a nice, for me, they tried something.
Yeah.
And in many ways, I thought, I know you're celebrating that as well, actually. You're saying that same thing. For me, I actually thought it worked in a Blair Witch kind of way. If you like that thing, I thought this did it really well. And I thought that it was super unique. I liked the way they did the commercial breaks. I liked the way they did the credits at the end.
Wait, what was the commercial breaks?
They didn't really do them. I mean, that's my point. There wasn't like a build up to it. There was something would happen,
right?
And then it would just it was like a glitch in the film, kind of. You'd be a commercial break, and you'd come back, and you're still going.
Right.
It's almost like they just shoved a commercial in there,
right?
Which I thought was cool.
Yeah, even like when they spot her and check out the blonde, and then she comes over and she pulls up a camera, and then they've got a perfect over the shoulder. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
they certainly found a way to do it, though.
Yeah.
Like, you're right. It was written in that way of like, we're going to do this, and this is how we're going to pull it off.
They did find a way. And honestly, because I was watching, I was like, okay, why would there be? And I was like, oh, I buy that. I buy that she's looking out the window at Sam and Dean,
Yeah.
I didn't always buy that they could hear what they were saying, but that's okay.
No, that was the big thing you had to let go was audio.
Right.
You, in a massive way, you had to just go, okay,
right.
I'm going to lean in, because 100% right. They'd be 20 feet away from the camera. We're hearing them like I'm hearing you.
Right.
So that was definitely we had to pause our belief in all things technical.
Yeah, for some reason, and I didn't get into the romance being like, this is their song. I wasn't necessarily rooting for the tall guy. I didn't like either of the guys' characters either. I didn't like any of the 3 of them, to be honest, as characters.
Interesting.
It's nothing to say them as actors, but I wasn't rooting for anybody. You know what I mean?
Right. To me, it felt very much like of the time, and these kids of sort of that generation goofing around, the nerd goofing around with editing software and the way they had it blocked. I thought it was cool the way the other bedroom was behind the guy so the computer laptop would see that footage.
Right.
I thought it was cool. Some of the whip pans when they were fighting seemed like great. And they like whip, the guy's there. Like some of the jump scares really worked without music. There was no score to help this episode. It was all done without score.
Right.
And I thought it was very effective.
I mean, I'll take your word for it because you know so much more about that part of it. I'm sure it was so hard to do.
Yeah, but if it didn't land for you as an audience, it doesn't really matter what the tricks are. You know what I mean? Like,
I just don't like found footage stuff. It's not as much my thing.
Well, I will say to your point, would I watch a series if the render was all found footage?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
But to me, it was a nice palate cleanser.
Sure.
It felt, and I loved the off-angle stuff with Sam and Dean.
Yeah. That was
just
cool.
them watching, and it felt very much like right now. I know it wasn't right now. I know it's 2012. There's nothing the police do that isn't shot from that angle. That, you know what I mean? Like cops, ICE,
true,
feds,
true.
anybody doing anything. That's how I see it more like that on the internet than I see it from a news camera perspective.
If we're now and you replace those awkward cameras that they had with cell phones, I would have bought it more. Because you're right.
Yeah, because you would have gone like, oh, they have this in their pocket anyway. Then they're filming.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you're filming me. I'm going to film you.
But I also got the fact that this was. I bought the conceit that this nerdy guy got this camera, was trying to make a film and was doing all this stuff, and so was doing a day in the life of his own existence.
Sure.
Which again, just yesterday I was killing time as you and I were flying back from Nashville, and I may be late to the party here, but I did not realize on YouTube there was something called like family TV where families just post their life. They're like random families just film every step of it sounds like child abuse to me, but they film like we're having pancakes and they just upload family clips all the time just to make money, I guess, off their family life. And I was like, oh, that's so effed up. And then this episode pops up. I'm like, this is the college version of that. This is some kid who's just capturing every single thing.
Yeah. And then it's also a little suspend your disbelief when she basically sits down at the computer and then you're supposed to believe that she edited it all together.
Yeah.
In what we just watched.
Just from a hard drive standpoint, I was like, she'd have been there for weeks.
Yeah. She got the footage from the office. She got the footage from the sheriff's office.
Yeah. Back to the story. When they were in the classroom and the guy was talking about Lord of the Flies, right? The professor was?
Yeah.
I saw that pen because they zoomed in or did something where that pen was prominent. I'm like, that pen's going to play into this.
Sure.
So,
they had a close up of it.
Now, can we say that kid going with his camera to find that pen in the woods is a reach? Yes. I felt like it was a TV reach, for sure.
Yeah. I guess a lot of it was a reach, trying to make it real. Also, the other thing, I was confused by the last episode. To me, it was a lot like 803 in a way. There were people ripping people's hearts out.
Yeah, there was. Well, they even referenced, like, is this another Mayan god?
Exactly. And to me, if there wasn't actually a link between these two, or there's not some greater story of like, is there a greater story I'm missing here?
Well, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait till 805.
Yeah.
I know you're saying, like, is this like their Leviathan? Is it a heart series where hearts are getting ripped out?
Right. And I know that Benny is a vampire, right? I mean, a werewolf. Is he a werewolf?
No, Benny's a vampire.
Oh, he's a vampire. Okay. Yeah, so I was confused, man.
He's a vampire from, like, the...
Purgatory.
Yeah, I was going to say from the, fishing industry. Like, he has that hat on.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like Moby Dick.
Exactly.
Anyway, so this is a first. I can't remember the last time you and I disagreed.
We have rarely been on opposite sides of the teeter-totter.
Yeah. So I know your answer, but why don't you go ahead and give your...
I'm gonna give this episode... Okay, let's make it official.
Sure.
R, Rob and Rich. Ratings. Well, I don't worry that this one is going to be an argument for the top 5 of the year.
Well, I mean...
I know we won't be going,
who knows?
But for me, right now, I'm giving this episode, and people who listen to this show, if they are at all like Rob and I, and like Rob and me, and are divided on this issue, then half of you will agree, half of you will violently disagree. But I'm giving this episode a Steel Drivers era Chris Stapleton.
Okay, that's an early Chris Stapleton.
Early Chris Stapleton. Not quite the same. It's a A-.
Okay, that's good. I'm going to give it...
Oh, boy.
No. I'm going to start by saying it's not you, it's me.
No, it's fine. I get it. Are we breaking up?
Not you, Richard Spate. I'm saying it's not the episode. It's me. I think all the actors are fine actors. Robbie is possibly one of the top 3 writers of Supernatural ever.
And Tom Wright, one of the top directors, you would say.
And Tom Wright, one of the top directors, without question. I just don't love found footage because it's hard to make it look real. You have to suspend a lot of disbelief. So I'm gonna give it when Leonardo DiCaprio has a goatee.
Oh, that's almost more insulting than Mr. Clean.
It's just, I know what he's going for.
Oh, man.
It's just not my thing. I don't love
It's
a goatee.
nobody's thing.
And he can't really grow facial hair very well.
It's like seeing a mustache on a baby. It just doesn't make sense. I feel so bad for Bitten.
Not you. It's not you. It's me.
I know, dude. I'm over here on the sidelines. I'm just a guy standing here.
The DiCaprio goatee.
Oof.
Just because it's not my thing. Some people go crazy for DiCaprio. He dates supermodels.
Yeah, I don't think.
And good for him.
You know what the first thing say on that date when they go out with him? Why for you keep goatee? you shave. We go out. You shave.
It doesn't make them as attractive when you hear that their voice is that low.
When you hear their actual voice.
That it's that low.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. That's what DiCaprio's into. Dude, that is a brutal bloodbath. And hey, good for us for keeping this debate classy. But I'm dead serious. I was actually surprised. So we don't agree on this one, but we respect the effort. Both of, I think there's a lot we do agree on. We like the off.
There's a lot we do agree on.
We respect the effort. We admire Robbie's going for it. We admire Tom's execution.
Right.
We like the angles on Jared and Jensen. Like that was just, we both called that out as something cool.
And I appreciated that they got some days off.
You almost feel like they said, hey, here's what you're going to do. You're ready to get episode.
Exactly.
We're in it for 6 seconds.
Yeah.
I loved the scene of the werewolf getting killed. I loved the Sam and Dean fight happening just from one camera up in the corner. I thought that was so cool.
When did the werewolf get killed?
In the office, when the professor got killed. That's the only, there was just one camera up in the corner.
Uh-huh.
And
Do you see it?
Yeah. And they end up shooting him. And the guy goes, thanks, and dies.
Oh, that. Yeah.
That whole thing, though, was great.
Yeah.
I just loved it. It was so unique and so interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't rely on score. Anyway, I've gone through my whole thing.
I'm a sucker for some close-ups. I'm a sucker for
Soul of Sam.
Well, I have to say too about Sam. I was going to say this, and
Is this hair related?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
the hair in this season is just it's
unreal.
It's amazing.
It's like I don't know why he wasn't doing shampoo ads with Brooke Shields.
I totally
immediately.
He should be the lead singer of some '70s soft rock band.
And I'd be singing "I'm All of Love" while getting lathered up.
Exactly. Really, I don't remember. We knew him at this. Like we were hanging out.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't remember.
You know, it just. Man, probably because he always had a beanie on.
Good looking head of hair. Yeah, that's right. When we see him, it's always beanie o'clock.
Yeah. All right. Well,
there we go. We got to the bottom of it. And by the way, you know who else I think had a light work week? Our interview guest.
Well, I don't know. He can tell us.
We'll find out, won't we?
It's a friend of Rob and Rich, friend of the podcast.
Yeah.
Friend to all of us. Also, great hair on this fella.
Great hair.
Yeah.
And great beard growth on him, depending on any given Sunday. You know what I mean? This guy's got something going on.
Yeah. It's a friend of the podcast, Brad Creasser, the first camera operator, all 15 seasons.
Occasional director of photography. Whenever Sarah's would take a knee, he would step up and be DP.
That's right. A very talented mofo and our buddy. And here's our conversation with Brad Creasser.
Good morning, gentlemen. Hi.
Good morning, sir.
What's up, Creasser? How are you, buddy?
How you doing, boys? Good to see you again.
You too.
It's nice to see you when we've seen you recently, as opposed to, it's been 6 years.
Yeah.
And it's been like 2 pandemics and 3 strikes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was great to see you guys here. That was a lot of
Oh my God. It was the most fun. Well, we're already recording. We're already into this thing. So we just reviewed Bitten. First of all, let me start with this. When was the last time you saw it? Did you watch it in advance of this?
I rewatched it twice, the night before and last night. So.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to open with a question because we had a really spirited conversation about this episode. Kind of two camps, not completely 100% opposed, but I was curious. For the finished product, what's your opinion of the episode?
You know what? It's been so long, I didn't even remember this one. And then it was so unique that to the point that I really liked it.
There you go.
Yeah. I thought the uniqueness was really interesting. I mean, I'm not throwing Rob under the bus. There's a lot that he liked about it, but it was just...
I don't love found footage
Yeah.
stuff as much because it feels self-conscious. You know, it feels like a camera falls and it just takes its exact right angle sort of thing.
There definitely a stretch there, but
yeah.
You know what they did? Okay, Rob, did you see how the professor wolfed out, but we didn't see him because the kid was on his lap? I thought that was cool. Like, it wasn't the perfect angle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, like not everything. I mean, we tried to land. I mean, obviously it was a stretch going that, that's just so convenient that they're shooting each other. And
right.
But again, it's the concept. And again, hats off to Thomas J. Wright.
Yeah.
Like taking these interesting episodes like Baby and telling a story through a very unique lens. And I think it's a standalone episode in terms of its look, its style. Like the lighting had to be
right.
Serge's lighting I thought was fantastic as always, but the way he would have to light the space and put in practicals or whatever, because there was no standard coverage.
Right.
Yeah.
In this episode, it was all done with, then they plant the cameras in the apartment and they can watch everything.
Right.
Through all the rooms that you get, you're always cut away to your high angle, which is, it's smart. It was a unique idea to deliver a concept. Brenda wasn't a huge fan. I think more so of the story, but I don't know. I found it really, really fun to watch again and completely forgotten about everything.
Interesting.
And of course, I did operate some of it, but we did give it to the kids. For a lot of it, they are actually operating. I would only take over at certain points.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because I did notice there's a scene where they're arguing with each other, and she was checking her screen a lot, and I was like, oh, she must really be.
Yeah.
Because you got to keep it at a certain angle. Oh, that's interesting. So now on that kind of thing where the kids are actually shooting the footage, what's your role? Are you just watching to make sure?
Camera coach? I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we're hiding around the corner in the stairwell there with our monitors. Just
so those video cameras were on monitors?
I think we had transmitters, so that we could watch what they were doing, and if we didn't, we'd stop and play back. But I think we rigged it so at least we could transmit and see it as we went.
Interesting.
And then we would decide which points. Then I would take over, or Rosie, whoever was the other operator at the time. I think it was Rosie. But go in. Like I remember I did like some of the stuff when you see the boys arrive at the crime scene and you're kind of zooming in, and
right
when they're spying on the boys, talking about stuff. Generally, that was probably me.
Got it.
Taking over the camera because that doesn't whip back to one of the characters. So it was a blend of.
But to be apartment scenes where they're arguing with each other, that was them shooting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it was like, again, it was an interesting idea for them to pursue and break the mold of the usual Supernatural episode.
Hey there, this is Jared Padalecki, and I hope you're enjoying the episode. But we got to pull over for a second for some messages.
Hey everybody, Richard Spade Jr. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. Here's why I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for $15 a month. For starters, you want to ditch overpriced wireless and their jaw-dropping monthly bills, unexpected overages and hidden fees. Plans at Mint Mobile start at $15 a month. That's right, $15 a month. That's like a coffee and a half. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your number along for the party. Why not, huh? Why ditch that thing? It's still working. I got Mint Mobile for my kids. Why? Because I want to control what they're doing. Yeah, I'm a controlling guy like that. They call that being a dad. And I want to be sure they're not going crazy or rogue and racking up big bills. So if I'm prepaying and I'm doing it through Mint, I know they're getting great connections. I know I can reach them when I need to. I know they're getting data when they need to. And I know that the bill is going to be exactly what the bill is because there's no jaw-dropping overages, as I said before. And the quality is great. So, are you ready to say yes to saying no? I thought so. So go make the switch at mintmobile.com/supernatural. That's mintmobile.com/supernatural. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Hey, everybody. It's Rob Benedict. I want to talk to you about Quince again. Listen, the holidays are coming up. You're going to have your holiday parties. People are going to want you to get all gussied up, and you want to reach for something that you don't even have to think about. You know you look good in. Simple, easy, smart-looking clothes. Because you want to look good, you want to feel good, but you need it to be easy. So I've been buying a lot of Quince lately, I got to be honest. And this season's lineup looks pretty exciting. It's smart and easy, like $50 Mongolian cashmere sweaters that feel like an everyday luxury, and wool coats. They're equal parts stylish and durable. They're denim. I bought their jeans. Check. It nails the fit and everyday comfort, all at a fraction of what you'd expect to pay. By partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, this is my favorite part, Quince cuts out the middlemen to deliver premium quality at half the cost of other high-end brands. So you can get these great-looking quality pieces without the great-looking quality price tag. All right, here are my two latest Quince items. I got myself a pair of slacks, the kind of slacks that you could wear to a party, or you could also put tennis shoes on and go down to the grocery store, like casual slacks. And I like clothes that don't have, the store's insignia all over it. These are just Quince steps back and lets you look good. The other thing I bought is a short sleeve sweater shirt, and it's going to be sharp. I can't wait to put these on at some of these conventions we have coming up. Also, hot tip, hot take, holidays meets gift giving. This place is a perfect place to go for your shopping. And they have accessories too. It's not just clothes. So check that out. Give and get timeless holiday staples that last this season with Quince. Go to quince.com/STN for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/STN. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/STN.
Thanks for listening. Now, back to the episode.
Was there any pushback from the network about you're turning in something that's kind of a lower resolution episode? I mean, right? Because it's not going to be 4K.
Surely, yeah. No, it looked very, very distressed, and maybe we even took it down more. We shot it on. We had these little Sony cams that we would use for even some of our stuff. Like it was still, I think they were 4K, because these are the little cameras we would put on the road. The two of them for the Impala drive-overs.
Oh,
like remember when you see the car coming down the road and it goes boom, boom, and it cuts to the car driving away. We would put two of those cameras on the road side by each.
Wow.
And they're low enough profile, and hope that,
hope for the best.
The car doesn't think about it. It only happened once.
Really?
The car took him out?
It was coming down a hill. And so there was a bit of a grounding out gravity thing as it hit the bottom of the hill and just smoked one of the cameras. But, they were replaceable. They're just the little guys. Those are the action cams of today. Although now there's even new versions, but yeah.
So that was the cameras that they were actually using. Those were those Sony cams.
Yes, yeah. The physically ones in the shot, the props were also the real cameras.
They also did this in the Ghostfacers episode, which was basically found footage, right?
Exactly. That harkened back to that to me. And I'm like, I should watch those ones again too.
Yeah. So is that kind of a day off for you? Is that
No, I'm very present. I still have to sort of babysit to make sure that we're getting, I think there might have been days where we actually were reduced crew because we knew it wasn't going to be, you don't need all the focus pullers and all the seconds. You're not downloading a lot of data. You're just using little handy cams.
So did that make the days remarkably shorter? I mean, or did it still take all the time in the world to get it right?
No, I think we probably did, not our usual 14s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it did save some time for sure.
So is it more difficult on a camera like that to make the set still look realistic?
Yeah, I think that's a challenge. And then of course, we've got to be careful that because it was a set, they don't aim up into the rafters. You're going to see the grid, you're going to see the lights, because everything had to come from above.
Right.
Or through a doorway you don't see into, or practicals in the room. Yeah, so we had to be careful when you sweep over, you don't go up and catch,
Right.
You couldn't help but think that when you see the schedule of this show, that the whole concept was pitched by Jensen and Jared.
Yeah.
Here's a thought.
Here's
You
the
never
thought.
see us.
I'm going to be off this episode,
Yeah.
and you guys go do something. And we'll show up for one day and do our little walk-ons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they loved this episode.
Yeah, sure. It's your favorite one.
Just to go back to the timing of it, there is a certain amount of ballet to work out for sure.
Absolutely.
But then did you use playback? I mean, at one point it seems like it could be a time saver, but not if you're watching playback every time. It's not.
Yeah, if we have to go back, I mean, like I said, because we did at least have them wired, we could see it, but we would have to make sure we got the beats, and Tom had to be happy with the performances.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, going to playback does slow it down a little bit. There was times when, whatever reason, we couldn't see the footage and see all of the cameras because we did have multiple ones once we were
Right.
set up in the apartment.
Yeah.
What kind of camera do you use when it's the corner of the room? What we would call today a ring camera, but
Yeah, but this is like
yeah. I don't know what you would call
Dark
that.
Ages. I think
Yeah.
we probably just had more of those same cameras. We probably rented, 3 or 4 of them and used those as our cameras in the corners.
Interesting. Yeah, and because there were times where, and I don't know if this is the streaming or, Rich, did you notice this when they're like fighting? It almost looks like they're in slow motion.
Well, isn't that the glitchy of the frame rate of those cameras or something like that?
And that may have even been enhanced in post because I think the footage was probably a little bit clearer than what they saw, and I think they intentionally distressed it to bring it down and more Blair Witchy. Probably.
Right.
I wonder if Eduardo is listening. Hi, Eduardo.
That was also when this came up and there was no opening director credit. I thought, well, this is either Phil Segrisha or Eduardo.
Well, it's funny.
Eduardo Sanchez, Rob, directed Blair Witch, and he directed a lot of Supernaturals.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's like it could be Eduardo.
But I couldn't remember at the time. So I actually, before I watched it, I looked up on IMDb and I'm like, oh yes, of course, Tom Wright.
Yeah.
And it made sense because I mean, if you look at Baby, he again, I find it's really thinking out of the box. It's really quite clever to design an episode, and like you said, it worked for some, it didn't work for others.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting new way. Like we were always trying to find new ways to make the show interesting. We're 8 seasons in. God, we're just halfway.
Oh yeah, man. This is
Holy
which means you've got about a dozen more appearances on this podcast.
Okay, yeah, sure, I'm there, man. I'm there. You guys caught me on a week where I'm on hiatus for my show because my writers need to catch up.
Ah, well, there you go.
So I'm home for a week, so it's great. Yeah.
This is it. This is like what your work week was like when you were making Bitten.
Yeah.
You're just at home.
Off early. No, you think it's like, no, we work, man. We're just like.
No, I know. Burning the candle.
Oh, now I feel dumb for saying I wasn't a fan of the found footage because Eduardo is part of the family.
No, I don't think it's a style though, man. Like think about Eduardo doing it.
Well, way before.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
OG.
Less self-conscious because, that was way back in the day.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rob, you're now excommunicado because of this comment.
Again.
We have to throw you out of the family.
Again. It's like the third time I've been
Been a great ride though, buddy. So you might have already said this, Brad, but were they shooting on chips or tapes or what was it?
Yeah, SD cards.
SD cards, okay.
Yeah.
What are we not asking? What production elements were unique because of this? I don't even know what to ask because I don't know what this would be.
I know it's a challenging one to talk about, but I think like what was cool was incorporating not only having the multiple cameras at play where there starts out just in a cafe downtown and they're shooting each other and playing with it, and she walks over with her camera and they have kind of a nerd off on cameras. But then when we're in the apartment and you're looking at his setup with the computers, you can see the image on his screen. So it was like everything was tied together. So I thought that was really cool to make it more believable that.
And was that going 365? Like all the time were all those cameras functioning?
Yeah, I mean, obviously for the scenes that were warranted in that space, but to see him sitting at his desk and knowing what's going on behind him in the bedroom with the guy and the gal.
Yeah.
Richard noticed that.
From a Sayers standpoint, did Sayers light 360 degrees? Was this a set that you could the camera could go any direction, everything's lit from above? On a grid.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we couldn't restrict the actors so that because you had the two characters pointing at each other, so it had to be lit in a certain way that, you can't see any of the gear.
Does that mean they built the cafe? Because for the lighting?
That was a real coffee shop downtown or Yaletown or something. And
You know what I thought was cool in the coffee shop is when they traded cameras. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you bought that geography.
well, that's just it. You're buying into the images you're seeing now are being produced by each other's cameras. And it's
Right.
Okay, well, this is what it is.
Right.
But I love the little tie-ins when they walk up to see a crime scene and then see Starsky and Hutch pull up. And,
Yeah.
I loved that. That was my favorite part. And I didn't even see it coming. I'm like, oh, there's Baby. Oh, shoot, there's Jared Jensen. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, they're shooting it from over here. And they never popped in for any TV version of it.
Right.
No, that's just it. Like it's all told from their perspective, from their cameras. And that's why I find it unique.
So Rob's point of view, Rob made the observation that is accurate, that the one thing you really have to let go and lean into is sound.
Yes.
Because you would never be able to hear those things. So like you'd have to go like, I'm going to hear more than I would really hear from this distance.
Yeah, exactly. Like to hear the conversations, the quiet conversations of the boys talking about, well, it could be a
Mayan
god. Or
yeah. Did he say Mayan god? No. Why would he say Mayan god?
What joke? You know what joke was that they didn't make that I thought was going to be an obvious one is when the gung ho kid Brian was like, "Oh, I'm going to climb up the trees and shoot upside down." And I just wanted the other guy to go, or just turn the camera upside down, like he did. Like he gets up in the tree and hangs.
Now, what was the point of that? What was the point of him shooting upside down?
I didn't quite understand that scene, other than the fact that
I thought, honestly, dude, I think the point was he was just dinking around and saw Jared and Jensen with his camera. It was a big reach.
Yeah, it was like, oh, look, there's those guys. Those the FBI guys.
Right.
Phoebe's here. Did they ever shoot? So you being the girl in the window, which, by the way, yes, you've been the girl in the window for most of your life. But like when you were the camera shooting through the window to Jared and Jensen, were they also shooting through the door? Because of the limited changing to lights, could you just shoot to what you would never do with standard equipment? Could you do weird angles like that simultaneously?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to think if we actually did. I remember, being down on my knees, poking through the little window of them out on the porch.
Right.
And I don't know if we had the second camera behind them, but I think we probably broke it up. We did them at the door, and then they turned to leave, and then cut to her camera, spying on them, hearing the private conversation.
Right.
But it did afford obviously shooting two cameras at the same time in stuff that you wouldn't normally do, because of finessing the lighting, but shooting in all directions, which again makes it harder for the cinematographer.
Yeah, for sure.
Was all of it in the script, or were there times where you think that you guys had to say, hey, we need to figure out a way to have another camera here to get a master or whatever it is?
Yeah, I think that's why they had to build it, so that it justified them putting up cameras around the room,
right,
to get those wide shots, to cut away from their handheld, looking at each other. It's like, this is my movie. I'm going to record him turning into whatever monster he is. It's like, no, you can't do that, Brian.
That was another part that was well done in the mirror where he.
Yeah, that's on here. It's one of the questions that I think is.
Yeah, I don't know how we did that.
That's amazing. You heard it here first, everybody. That's why we bring Brad in.
He's an expert on most things. I blacked out that.
That
thing.
looked great. That was really well done. That's got to be obviously his visual effect.
Yeah, I think we had a little help from CG, but it was cool. Like obviously the eyes flash was CG because it kind of like went and but then the fangs,
which just kind of appear.
Then he's hiding behind the lens, which was again, it's pretty clever, and I credit Mr. Tom Wright for that. He really put his mind to it to pull this stuff together. A couple of funny things that have nothing to do with anything, but in their apartment, there's a chair that looks like a wagon wheel. It's got a wagon wheel for.
Oh, really?
Any rundown, motel room.
It was the avocado fridge of its time. They're just wagon wheel.
The wagon wheel chair is there. And I want you all to know that I never even noticed this and I freeze frame, and no one will ever get it. But right at the end, she gets out of a truck as she's hitchhiked, and she's going down the beautiful golden tracks, which is quite lovely. But there's a big red semi that wipes frame.
Yeah.
Creasser Trucking. Thank you very much.
Ooh.
Hey.
Thank you, Jerry Wannick. It appears in a few episodes. there's a big red cab and it says Creasser Trucking on it. I tried to do a still
Nice
frame grab. I have photos of it from other episodes, but that was my one little.
That's cool.
Now, I know that TV shows don't get rehearsal. That's never been a luxury afforded to the world of television. But given the fact that these actors were essentially going to be shooting the lion's share of the show, was there any training? Because, you know, you can hand a camera to somebody and it looks all right. You hand a camera to somebody else and it's like a jittery mess. Was there ever any sort of actual in the field training or conversation with any of these actors about proper shooting technique?
I think, well, definitely there was, but I think we did it on the fly. There was no like, okay, we're going to have camera training day. You were like, okay, this is what we're doing. Don't shoot up there. Don't do this. Good luck.
What a slippery slope, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could have been a disaster because some people are just not. And of course, it was a lot to ask of the actor because now not only are you having to act and remember your lines and your action and hit your marks, now you got to pay attention to what you're doing with your camera because now you're recording the other actor's side of the scene.
Yeah, there was a scene where the shorter of the two guys like stands up, but he has the camera sort of on the table, kind of pointing at the other actor.
Yeah.
But he has to not be thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know,
but
that's not easy to do.
No, it definitely, and kudos to them because I thought they all did really, really well. And I think we brought Britt. I think that was her name. I think we brought her back in a later episode.
Oh, yeah? You wonder because she wanders off.
They catch up with her as a werewolf. And
there you go.
I think she's done the nasty and eaten a human heart.
Uh-oh, Rich.
And they have to take her out. I don't remember. I could be wrong.
What you're saying is she's back.
Rich, look, things are looking up, Rich.
I tell you, Jensen and I agree. Let her live.
What about when they're running through the woods? It appears that it's chaos and they're like running through the trees and it feels like they get hit with a branch. Like, how do you choreograph those scenes?
You get hit with a branch. I ate a lot of leaves. Some of that was me, but yeah, no, you're going balls out, and it's sometimes it's Eddie Green's has built a little tunnel for us, but yeah, you head down and put the camera in front and
that would be you, right? Because if the actors aren't acting, there's no reason to have them operating the camera.
Generally, yeah, if we don't see the actors, it was one of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Was that a bummer that somebody had to come to your chair and shake you, go, Mr. Creasser, they need you now?
They're ready for you, sir.
But I've only been asleep for 7 hours.
Did I miss sandwiches? Yeah.
Oh, man, that's hilarious.
You're like a doctor. You're like a doctor on call.
We need you to do a shot. I'm here. Put me in, coach. Bench warmer.
I already asked you this, but at the beginning of this episode, did you think it was going to be ghost facers?
No,
Oh, that was my first thought because even I heard the voice off camera like, you're not aiming it right. I'm like, oh, it's a Ghost Facers episode. I thought it was those dudes because they do found footage. They have the video camera stuff, like.
No, but I did, again, you always appreciate this with this show when they do something new and different. And the idea that it comes in sort of, you don't really know what's going on. The boys come in and there's blood everywhere. And you're like, what the hell? And then they cut to this. Like, oh, okay, this is going to be, and they don't even show the credits until the bookend scene. Then it says directed by Thomas Wright in the very, very end.
Yeah, which is I thought that was really cool.
I thought that was awesome. And because I also did have this moment of, did I miss the opening? Did I
Right, it's totally
blink and miss it?
Yeah.
And they didn't do the part, did they?
They did. After they found the computer that says it was never supposed to happen like this or whatever. They find that on the computer and they open up the computer and it goes to and then we come back and it's the movie that they did, that she cut together in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, man, because she's really good, Rob. God, leave her alone. You know what?
I think you need to go back and explain.
You're not invited to the wedding.
You got to go back and explain to your listeners what.
Believe me, they listen to this podcast enough.
I don't think they can see our hands going like.
What was the character's name?
Who, your girl?
Yeah.
Kate.
At first sight, she gave me Nikki Acox vibes.
Yes. Yeah, I can see that.
And just her physical appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the haircut. Yeah.
And for the sake of this conversation, because you're the only one here, Brad, you're Kate.
Oh, I was going to say, what about me? I don't want to be Kate.
You were playing tug of war with Brad's effect.
And we said Steve Hine, the producer, is the Professor Werewolf guy.
The frat guy? Oh, no.
The werewolf guy.
Booty, give me the frat guy.
Frat guy, the bully. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got his.
He got his. But I tell you what, There's very few shows where you go, well, the frat guy came out smelling like a rose.
I like how they were out there making it safe for all you honeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he said.
Hockey
I
sticks.
love he had the hockey stick.
Yeah.
Thank you for noticing. I think
I love the hockey stick.
that had to be props, our little nod to
Canada.
Yeah, sure. Maybe Chris Cooper or Robin or whoever put it together.
Well, it was fun. It was fun to see. It was fun to see the sort of the different choices that you had to make in your department to make this all work. It is an adjustment.
Oh, it's very different. It's a whole new way of working that we all kind of had to adapt, and we're kind of fish out of water like we were with Baby, and Baby came before this, right?
No, after.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, that's why I was thrown by this, because I didn't know that Tom had done a unorthodox camera, cinematic styled episode before Baby, but he'd done this one.
And both of them are written by Robbie Thompson.
Oh, that's right.
And they both are single word titles that start with a B.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah.
Baby.
There's a correlation. There should have been more.
Yeah, man, it's a real trip to watch. Here's a question. You do this 8 days. First of all, I think we can all agree that if it hadn't been Phil Segrisha or Eduardo or Tom Wright, this thing could have been a real train wreck.
Oh, man.
It's good that it had Tom helming this. Or Bob Singer could have done it too. Bob Singer. But if you had a new guy and they got slapped with this one?
No, it would have been a disaster. It would have been just chaos and trying to make sense of it. That's why Tom is so good at visualizing and putting together, how we're going to tell this story, but you're limiting your resources in terms of coverage. You've got to tell the story in a non-conventional way, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, he had to be a nervous wreck about performance too, because you can't cut around. There's no there's some editing, but you're kind of married to what you got.
Yeah.
In terms of you're trying to cut around a bad performance, which they didn't really have to do, but you know what I mean? The casting process must have been stressful.
Yeah, because you really had to find three bright kids to pull it off. And I noticed in some of the edit they did, they'll blow in on a shot to get a close up.
And they glitched out. They would jump cut in a way that I thought was actually really cool. They go boop.
There would be time jumps, but that makes sense that it wasn't recording 24/7 because but the timeline was still respected as it went along. So that was
but I mean, even in a conversation, if my shot is of Rob, it would just pop. He'd be in a different head position. They would just leap forward, through whatever. And I kind of like that.
Yeah.
With Kate's monologue at the end where she's talking to the camera and summarizing, saying they didn't mean or whatever, there's a lot of that.
Yeah, I didn't think they needed to cut away from Kate. I think they just should have
cutting out the silence.
One long shot of Kate. Call it a day. So here's a question. You finished this episode, 8 days of this shooting. Was it brutal to go back to a normal show where they expected you to work every day?
We had to wear, you know what? And I got to say, I bet you this was probably less than 8 days. This was probably done to save some money. And we were mostly studio. We would have been out for the
fraternity stuff, running around.
Actually, you know what? Funny enough, the house was probably, I bet you it was all one day. I'm just trying to think the stuff with the boys. The locations, I think, were all in the same area. So we did the scene where they have the body where Starsky and Hutch pull up. That was at Queen's Park Arena in New West. The night scene where they find the boys just there talking from hanging upside down in the tree, that was the front of the same building.
Oh, wow.
So,
nice.
And then I think the house we probably started at in the neighborhood for daytime where they come to the front door and they...
Okay, but that's one day. But you still have to get them inside the house for the opening and closing of the episode with standard studio cameras.
Yeah, so we would have had to have dragged them in for half a day in the studio.
I think the day in the studio was probably them, doing the studio stuff, opening, closing, and then them shooting the professor.
Yes, which probably was location as well, but
so 2-day work week.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's
not bad if you can get it.
That's why the boys brought in or they brought in Crowley and Misha and you, and it was called the off Fridays, off Mondays guys, right? So you guys the boys would get their long weekend so that you could
I'd always have to work on Friday and Monday. That was always when I would be in work.
Funny that.
Yeah. But so what about when the boys come to the house and she's looking through the window so you can get a shot of them outside the door?
Yeah.
Would that have been a fake outdoor set, or was that?
No, that was location. We were at a house on the east side.
So you traded off, and that mostly that was a set, but then at that moment it wasn't. It was real.
Yeah, like I think they probably copied the door, or we brought our own door to the location.
Mm-hmm.
But then obviously, the house was a set because we needed full control for all the rooms with the multi cameras.
Right.
That's so cool.
It's good stuff, man.
It was a really cool episode. So off, but on. I mean, so different than what you guys have been doing. I loved seeing Jared and Jensen from a unique perspective, Sam and Dean, I should say, coming in, and that whole idea of the kids going, oh man, the feds are here. Oh, that was just really cool.
Yeah, it was a great perspective to see them from. I thought it was really, really cool.
Me too. So from the technical side, man, what an accomplishment. Well done, buddy.
Well, yeah, it just takes a village. It was a whole team of us. There was a lot of people like Maddie.
It's a very relaxed village.
Maddie, who's a lot smarter than me, to do all the technical stuff and figure out how we're going to hook all these cameras together. But
man, what a nightmare to sync them all up. Ugh.
They did a great job.
Yeah, they did. And by the way, kudos to the editors. And we'll get to that at the end of the episode when we talk about that. But this was not an easy editing episode to go through all their stuff.
Yeah, no, I made a note about editing. Yeah, editing was definitely a key. Like it was
Don. Don did this one.
Don Cook?
Yeah.
The Cookmeister General? There's a cook in the kitchen? Don Cook?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Don, don't call me Koch. Cook.
He did a great job.
Yeah.
Brad Creasser.
That's me.
You're a legend.
Saxophonist, director of photography, cinematographer. Acapella.
Wonder of the Stairwell Singers.
What were you guys called? The Sour Notes? Or
Stairwell Singers?
Stairwells.
Staircase Singers.
The Staircase Singers.
I like the stairwells with a Z.
Thank you for bringing that up.
The Staircase Singers. Saxophonist. For those who don't know, Loudon Swain tried very hard to get Brad Creasser to whip out the saxophone to play Baker Street in Vancouver, and they'll try again next time.
Yeah,
it's and also a camera operator. We're listing all your early credits and not your actual cinema stuff.
That's okay.
Acapella singer, saxophonist, director of photography, cinematographer, and a camera operator. Brad Creasser, friend of the podcast, friend to Robin Rich. Thank you for being here, buddy.
Always great to talk to you guys. Love you both.
Love you too, Brad.
Bye, buddy. Thank you so much.
Till next time. Take care, guys.
Till next time.
See you, buddy.
This is Mark Shepard, and you're listening to Supernatural Then and Now. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a little hell to raise.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies just to see if you could save some cash? Well, Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states. The holidays are approaching, and everyone knows that this time of year, the sooner you can get things done, the better. For both shoppers and businesses, the best time to score great deals during the holidays is during that Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. And if you have your own business, whether you've been around the block a few times or this is your first year going through the holiday sale rush, the most important thing you can have is a platform that can handle everything that's about to be thrown at you. This is a crucial time for your business and your customers. And with Shopify, you can be sure that your tools and platform are ready for anything that comes your way. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names to entrepreneurs who will be participating in their first Black Friday, Cyber Monday this year. With everything else going on, you probably don't have time to spend hours poring over every little detail in your online store. That's why Shopify's thousands of templates and tools help you streamline website creation and make sure that your site isn't just aesthetically pleasing, but functional and easy to use. Shopify's expedited checkout, Shop Pay, saves customer information and reduces hassle. And the best part is that it's been proven to boost conversions, meaning you'll see less abandoned carts and more profits. You can also stress less knowing that Shopify's award-winning customer support team is on standby 24/7 to help with any issues that arise, allowing you to get back to your business as fast as possible. This Black Friday, join the thousands of new entrepreneurs hearing for the first time with Shopify. Sign up for your free trial today at shopify.com/realm. That's shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm and make this Black Friday one to remember.
We're back. Thanks.
Okay, I have to say, talking to Brad, it made me appreciate the episode a little bit more.
Which happens to us, both of us, sometimes.
Because sometimes Leo can actually, he's a great actor, Leonardo DiCaprio, goatee or not. You know what I mean?
I mean, I do feel, and the real loser here is this episode's beard rating. But yes, it's good when you hear this sort of how the soup is made. It largely improves your outlook on the episode. Mine included.
Yeah,
I didn't need the help this time, but yes, in the past I've had that same experience.
Yeah, and how complicated.
Oh my God,
it is to pull it off. And then I remembered little moments, like the moment in the bathroom. That was very cool.
So cool. I thought her moment was good, but his moment was exceptional, where his finger grows a nail and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then the camera comes back up and he's got teeth.
I also thought it was crazy, Rob, when they did the whip pan thing, when she's like, it's kind of hot hanging out with Michael. And he's like, oh my God. And he kind of takes the camera away. He's like, say that again. And then he takes the camera away again, and dude's just there. Like, there was some good,
Yeah.
They were able to do effects, and I know a lot of it's editing, but she would run away, and then boom, there's Rob Benedict as Brian. No, I'm Brian. There's Rich Speight as Brian.
Yeah.
Right there. And then she runs into another room. Boom, there's Rich Speight as Brian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do, man. I really do.
Oh, yeah, I feel like you're done talking about it. This is a podcast, damn it. This is what we do.
I just want to get. I want to get going because I'm excited for what comes next.
Okay, well, you know what comes next, don't you?
I do.
Mythology.
Okay, the format found footage in horror films was popularized by the 1999 film The Blair Witch Project. The gimmick of the film even extended into its marketing and release, leaving many early audience members wondering if it was real.
A lot of people know this because I've told Rob before, but I saw Blair Witch Project at its premiere screening at the midnight screening in Sundance Film Festival the year it came out.
I bet that was amazing. Now, at the time, you did not know Eduardo.
No, I didn't know Eduardo until decades later. Daniel Myrick was one of the directors, and the other one was Eduardo Sanchez. And Eduardo Sanchez has gone on to have a great career in television directing, including being a multi-episode director of a television program called Supernatural.
And then after Blair Witch, the format found footage becomes a reusable production model. Small locations, diegetic cameras, in-camera performances. Record, 2007, Spain, and Paranormal Activity, 2007, U.S. movie, are the next two films which significantly contributed to codifying the format.
There was that other one, too. I think Rec was redone in America as, but the brothers did it, the Dowdle brothers, Eric and Drew. What was the darn name of that movie? It was called, Quarantine.
Quarantine.
Oh. It was called Quarantine.
Since then, the format has evolved beyond the found reels or found tapes format to include desktop screen horror, faux documentary, analog horror on YouTube, and even major studios getting in on the gimmick with films like Cloverfield.
One of the scarier contributions Hollywood has ever made to this format is specifically based on Leonardo DiCaprio's goatee.
However, back in the 70s, an Italian film called Cannibal Holocaust shocked audiences. Rich?
The core idea is a documentary crew goes into the Amazon and disappears. Later, their film cans are recovered and the movie you're watching contains their supposed raw footage.
Yeah.
Which is the exact same plot of Blair Witch. It's just not in the Amazon. This particular movie, though, was banned in multiple countries, partly because it was incredibly violent for its time, but also because the way it was marketed led people to believe it might actually be real, much like the Blair Witch Project. Italian courts literally charged the director with obscenity and murder. He had to bring his actors on TV to prove they were alive. At no point did they realize they had just simply remade the Blair Witch Project.
Except it was in the 70s, 20 years before the Blair Witch. 30.
Wait, it was?
30 years, but yep.
I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
That would be weird to do it in film.
Yeah.
No, think about it, because film, you have to change canisters. If you're doing that in a video camera, that's dramatically easier.
Yeah.
Because you can give actors, even on this episode, they have 2 hours of footage.
Right.
I mean, I guess in the found footage seg, it's got to be 8mm or 16mm, right? Those look like
right.
shoot stuff, because you can't have a 35mm.
No, right.
Giant mag on it.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I'm sitting there looking at that going, So everything I said makes no sense because I didn't realize it was the 70s.
Yeah.
Somehow I missed that intro.
Yeah, that was the setup.
I was confused by in my defense, Leonardo DiCaprio's goatee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, blame it on the goatee. It's also deeply controversial because real animals were harmed on camera in that.
That kind of stuff drives me nuts. Rob, where are you on that?
I hate it.
Okay, good. Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
And somewhat factual. A little bit factual. But nothing like this next segment, which we've aptly titled Fun Facts! Fun Facts! Fun Facts! Fun Facts.
The Latin American title is Muérdeme, Bite Me.
How about you muerde me, buddy?
Well, Muérdeme.
You're going to threaten me on the podcast. But what's the Latin American title?
Muérdeme.
So you're just not going to tell me. Okay. I get it. Well, interestingly, the Japanese title diverts from the more logical biting path of translation. Really? Yeah. I can't, man, I gotta like take some Japanese so I can start reading these things as they're presented by Steve. I can't ever truly pronounce the Japanese words, but loosely translated, this episode was entitled The Happy Fun Boat That Kills You.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
There was also no original score throughout the episode, which you noted, Richard.
Yes, I did.
Only diegetic pieces of indie pop music.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool and what helped create the vibe that I thought was so interesting.
Yeah.
The episode adds that werewolves within 4 generations of an alpha are less feral and can transform at any point in the lunar cycle. Well, that's a nice upgrade.
Yeah. And they can maybe possibly be killed just by being torn apart by another werewolf.
Maybe that's the missing piece we didn't really, get to.
Yeah.
Brian repeatedly says, "I'm tired of being Piggy," and expresses a desire to be Ralph, referencing William Golding's Lord of the Flies. In the novel, Piggy is intelligent but ignored, then killed, while Ralph is a respected leader.
Right.
Piggy wore glasses.
There you go.
They keep calling it his spectacles or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the 4th episode in the franchise. I'm just laughing because, out of 200 at this point?
Yeah.
This is the 4th episode in the franchise where Sam and Dean aren't the focal point.
Much to their probably delight.
Where Sam and Dean have a few days off.
Well, you were here for the debate.
Controversial podcast.
Yeah. This is one for the vault where Rob and Rich weren't synced up and had to sort of debate it out, old school. On the right, I'm Richard Spate.
And on the left, I'm Rob Benedict.
And this has been Crossfire, the podcast edition. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week for episode 805. Oh, season 8, how dost thou continue? We shall find out.
See you then.
This episode of Supernatural features Jared Padalecki as Sam Winchester, Jensen Ackles as Dean Winchester.
Guest stars include Lee Parker, Britt Sheridan, Brandon W. Jones, and David James Lewis.
Bitten was written by Robbie Thompson, directed by Thomas J. Wright.
Editing by Don Cook.
Vince Yoshida was the special makeup effects artist, and he killed it, by the way.
Yes, he did. Executive produced by Robert Singer and Jeremy Carver.
Supernatural was created by Eric Kripke.
The episode features a lot of songs. What's the Matter by Milo Green.
These Days by Fairchild.
Waiting on Nikki by the Muddy Reds.
Get Alone by the Broken Remotes.
Bathtub by the Muddy Reds.
I Lie by the Leaning Eaves.
Turntables by Should.
It Took a Long Time by Coco Taylor.
And Barricades by The Outdoors.
This episode originally aired on October 24th, 2012.
Well, there you go. This episode of Supernatural Then and Now is hosted and executive produced by Richard Spade Jr. and Rob Benedict.
Produced by Stephen Hine, written by Stephen Hine and Haida Holscher.
And edited and associate produced by Trey Booty. Music provided by Tim Wynn.
The episode was recorded with the help of Sonic Fuel Studios.
This podcast is from Story Mill Media.
Follow the podcast on Instagram and TikTok at SPN Then and Now.
Become a member of the podcast to get early access, chat rooms with other podcast fans, and video interviews at patreon.com/SPN Then and Now.
Question from the audience. Robert, any of those bands, because you know indie music better than I, any of those bands are bands you are familiar with?
Not only have I not heard of any of them, it feels like it's all made up. Those feel like made up band names.
But obviously it's not, right? So
I know. I have no idea. I've never heard of those bands at all.
Why are you laughing?
Oh man, now he's back. Now he's collected. You didn't know what year we were talking about, but now all of a sudden you're like, oh man, animals.
No idea. No idea. I literally accused a movie of stealing from Blair Witch Project 30 years before.
Nice try, guys. It's called Blair Witch Project, and it happens 30 years in the future.
They shot footage of World War I, the soldiers in the trenches. Yeah, like the Blair Witch Project. Are you eating cookies?
Yeah.
They look like Oreos. What are you eating?
Just the best podcasting in the business.
Story Mill Media.
The Regency era. You might know it as the time when Bridgerton takes place, or the time when Jane Austen wrote her books. But the Regency era was also an explosive time of social change, sex scandals, and maybe the worst king in British history. And on the Vulgar History podcast, we're going to be looking at the balls, the gowns, and all the scandal of the Regency era. Vulgar History is a women's history podcast, and our Regency era series will be focusing on the most rebellious women of this time. That includes Jane Austen herself, who is maybe more radical than you might have thought. We'll also be talking about queer icons like Anne Lister, scientists like Mary Anning and Ada Lovelace, as well as other scandalous actresses, royal mistresses, rebellious princesses, and other lesser-known figures who made history happen in England in the Regency era. Listen to Vulgar History wherever you get podcasts.
Goodbye, Kyle! Did the sound of those words call to you like Pavlov's dog? Then you might enjoy our podcast, Turtle Time.
Every week, you can join me, Riley Hamilton, and my co-host, Amy Scarlotta, as we cover the most pressing Bravo news and dig into the new episodes to answer important questions like, who the hell is Adrian Malouf in this world?
Listen to Turtle Time on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Wednesday and Friday.